go. All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Welcome to another edition, to another live stream Sunday night, 7 p.m.'s Mr. Poseidon here. I am Mr. Poseidon, and joining me always, my lovely wife, Mrs. P. Let's hand it over right there, Mrs. P.
Hi, everybody.
There you go. Hey, how you doing, honey? You're looking good tonight. You always look good. Sunday nights you look good, you know? After the show, I'm not the same towards you, you know? Anyway, welcome everybody to the Poseidon Show this evening. We'll put my wife up there in the corner with us. There we go. Right there. So welcome to my show again this evening. Tonight, we're going to have a guest on. You want to introduce him, honey, yourself?
We're going to bring in Frank right now?
No, we're not going to bring him in right now, but you could say his name.
He's Frank Azevedo.
There you go, Frank Azevedo. Frank Azevedo is from the West Coast, guys. He is a West Coast fisherman. He's with a group of guys down there. We're going to be talking about that. But in the meantime, let's say hello to everybody else, and that requires the shades to come off and the real glasses to come on. Hey, how you doing? I can see now. Hey, what's going on? Okay. Lance J, thank you so much for showing up to the show once again. Lance, wonderful character, wonderful guy. I appreciate everything. John Garcia, you're always here every week. Another guy. John Garcia, thank you so much. John Garcia is a family member. Right, honey?
Yeah. Hi, John. Thanks for coming.
There you go. You got to love those family members that show up. You know there's no problems there. Be nice if the rest of them all came on and be really proving a fact. But anyway, John Garcia. Oscar El Baer. Oscar, I don't know if you got your lure quite yet. We did put it in the mail. Hopefully you got it. We're going to be showing some pictures in just quite a little bit. Oscar, stand by for that. And I appreciate that. And congratulations. But we'll save the good stuff. Marcos El Delgado. Marcus, another family member, my wife's brother. Marquitos. How you doing, Mark? Thanks for showing up to the show. Yeah, brother. Chris Gannon and me go back. We go way back. We go way, way back. Remember, Chris, the embryo days? They were great, weren't they? Anyhow, I go back with Chris. Great friends. He's always supported me in anything I've ever done. Even taking him to the clubs late at night. And, well, he followed me. Let's put it that way. Thank you, Chris, for showing up. Thank you. T, good to see you, Mr. T. And, of course, Adrian Ayala, dynamite fisherman. I love going fishing with Adrian. He's been kind of busy with work lately, but we will get together. We're talking about the canal this year. Let's see. Maybe we'll get together, make a nice road trip over there with Adrian. But thank you, Adrian, for showing up to the show. Let's see, guys. I want to let everybody know out there who isn't, who else does it? Tell me, honey, interrupt me.
So we have, Lance wants to say that the mustache is right on point.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Brian Waterman, nice to see you here. Yeah, thank you, Lance. It's been a while, man. It took a while to get it back because through the COVID, and like I said, we were going out once in a while, and you put on the mask, and then you'd have to get up and put it on. And when I would put on a mask on a mustache like this, and you took it off after coming back from the restroom to sit down and eat or whatever, and then you take it off, it's like this. So I got sick of it, and I got shaved it short, so I didn't have to deal with it. But right now, I wanted it back. Masks are off. That's up to you guys. You want to wear them, you wear them. You don't, you don't. It's everybody's own preference. Let me continue on by saying that about my channel, for anybody out there who's watching for the first time or doesn't know me, you know, it's my surf fishing videos. It's mainly the Striperz. I talk about products that I like, that I use. I'm not doing any sponsoring for any company right now, but any company right now. And if I do sponsor anybody in the future, it'll have to be something that I like and that I know is durable in our surf fishing industry. Also, I do my live streams. We talk about fishing, as you can see right now. So that's pretty much what Mr. Poseidon does. And once in a while, my wife will be joining me on my live streams, which will be this week. I am very excited. We are leaving from Montauk tomorrow night. Everybody in the world is invited. Come to Montauk. It's a beautiful place. The fish are hitting. It's lots of fun. Blues, Striperz at night. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And if you can go with your friend, it's even a better thing. So let me continue continue saying that right now I got some guys that sent me in some photos, and I want to show them before we get to our guest. And let me start off by saying Frank Salamone. Frank Salamone sent me these pictures. Honey, can you put those up? All right, so there's Frank Salamone holding it. Now,
Hold on. Okay.
that's a fat fish. Frank Salamone did a 17-pound, 35-inch fish, and that ties a record as far as one of my other guys over here. But Frank, thank you for sending that to me. I appreciate that. That's a nice fish. It looks like you harvested it, Frank. It is in the regulations, and I know you're not a guy to harvest a fish every day, maybe once a year. I know you very well. So thank you, Frank, for sending me that photo. Now, let's go over to Joe Bejavenka. Now, Joe Bejavenka was with me in Montauk for one of the days I was there. He met me there. And this is what he caught. Look at this monster bluefish. This looks like Herman Munster without makeup on. I'm telling you. Look at that fish. That's humongous, isn't it, honey?
Huge.
Huge, huge. Let me go to the other one. So Joe caught that in an area we went to in Montauk together. He got the big bluefish that day. And this one was here at night. This was a 28-inch on the money. You could tell the dorsal fin was a little messed up. Looked like a fish took an actual bite out of that dorsal fin. You could see that piece missing there. But you can tell he was a healthy fish. The dorsal fin was up. He wasn't in distress, at least yet, before we put him in the water. But Joe did release him. He's also a catch and release guy. I love these pictures they sent me. Thank you, Joe Bejavenka. That's Hellish Storm. Thank you so much on that. And the final I want to show is Oscar Baera sent me this real champion fish. Now there's Oscar right there. That's a Boga grip he's using. And that pounded out at 17 pounds and 35 inches also. Look at that fish. Now I'm going to show you the next one. I love this next shot of Oscar. Look at that head on that fish. Look at that nice fish, guys. That's a nice fish, man. Congratulations, Oscar, on that. Oscar works very hard. I've constantly I've gotten pictures from Oscar. He sent them to me, schoolies after another 24-inch, 25-inch.
Nice.
And all of a sudden, boom, he deserves this. This guy's out there, puts in the time. Congratulations, Oscar. And I appreciate you sharing those photos with the rest of the subscribers here so much. So, what else do we have to say, honey? Anything else other than lower the music? But anyway.
Well, now we're going to bring on our guest.
Yeah, we're going to have a guest on right now, guys. I've been advertising them this week. That's Frank Azevedo, right, honey? Did I say that right?
Azevedo, yes.
Azevedo. My wife's better at pronunciation. I'm sorry, Frank. I know you're in the back room there listening, saying, I'm going to trick this. No, I'm kidding. All right, so let's have a nice introduction for our friend now, Mr. Frank Azevedo.
Take off the music.
You got it, and there you go.
And here we go. Sound check, sound check.
Sound check. Frank, are you there, Frank?
Loud and clear, guys. How you guys doing?
All right, Frankie. Yeah, hey, Frank. You're talking to an East Coast guy here. I know you guys are a little laid back over there. How you doing, Frank?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. You're right. We are a little laid back out here. And after looking at those pictures you just posted, I'm kind of questioning what I'm doing on your podcast right now. It seems like you should be having those other guys on there for sure.
Oh, man, you're a guy who puts in the time. So, Frank, I want to ask you a few questions here. I know the guests do not know you. You're a new guy, and you've actually been following me for a while on Instagram. But I want to ask you a few things, Frank. How did you get started into this fishing? What did you say, hey, I'm going to start now? And you could tell me everything. Go ahead, tell us.
Well, honestly, I was big into trout fishing for years. Kind of got away from it just due to life, work, that kind of schedule. When COVID hit last year, I decided to get back into trout fishing, which turned out to be kind of challenging out in these parts, or at least in California. We had a lot of restrictions as far as where you can and can't go. Attempted trout fishing, got threatened with several $7,000 plus fines, decided I needed to try a different avenue of fishing. Buddy of mine turned me on to the striped bass, and haven't really turned back since then, man. You can't mess with a fight like a striper. So that kind of led the way there. I've just been enjoying it ever since.
That's awesome, Frank. I love what you're telling me, but we're gonna do something really quick right here. We are gonna have to dial you back immediately, honey. You want to call him back?
Yeah.
Is anybody getting any feedback? Any echoing going on? And I like to say hello to Bill Wetzel. I just realized you're on. Oh my God, Bill! It's an honor to have you on my channel. I'll be with Bill next Friday, gentlemen. He's from surfratsball.com, and check him out over there. Bill's my guide, New York State licensed. He's taught me everything I know. What I talk about here mainly on the show when it comes to fishing, it's everything Bill has taught me. So anyway, back to Frank.
Well, Lynn says everything sounds okay. So
Okay, so good. We're going to continue then. It's no problem then.
awesome.
No feedback. We're all good. We're all good, Frank. All right, so Frank,
Wait a
All right,
second.
cool deal.
Now somebody else is saying that, yeah, it's.
echo is bad,
I
T.
wonder if it depends on who, depends on
No.
different people.
Yeah.
Some people are saying yes.
That's all right. Everybody else, okay, fix your computer if it's bad, because when everybody, volume is low to me, Brian Waterman. Okay, let's just try lifting that up a little. Okay, so Frank, I'm going to continue on saying here. So
Yeah.
that's how you started out on surf fishing. I'm going to show a couple of photos, the guys that you send me, that I really like, and I enjoy how much time that you put in all the time. So let's put that up, honey. There you go. That's good, that one. Go ahead, put it up. There you go. So, Frank, I got a picture here. You're wearing shorts, black sneakers. You're holding the fish. The beard's very long here. And you got
a bit of a different look, huh?
your little shades going on.
Did we lose Frank?
Okay, so he's called. Frank, you back?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know.
cool.
I don't know what happened with our connection there.
That's all right.
Oh,
It's fine
sounds
now.
good,
So,
sounds
Frank,
good.
I want to say that I got a picture up here. You're holding the striped bass, pretty much with one hand in front of you, and your beard is kind of big here, and your hair is just your hair.
You look different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just shaved the beard about a week ago, and if I'd have known I'd have been on the show, I'd have saved it, maybe cleaned it up, and gave it a little your flavor.
There you go, Frank. So go ahead, honey. Show us some
No,
more
it
of
gets-
Frank's pictures.
Okay, hold on.
It gets triple digits out here in the part of the California that I'm at, 100 plus degrees, so the beard usually has to go right around summertime.
Nice, bro. I like that look, dude. That's very cool. So there's Frank holding a nice little schoolie there. I'd put that at about 23 inches, but these are the photos that Frank sends me. Now, this one was kind of cool. This one, you're wearing that.
Big straw hat?
Yeah, that big hat there. What is it, straw hat you got on? What's that one about?
That's just to keep the sun off my face, man.
That's
like
it.
I said,
Yeah,
That's it. I
it's
think it's so
103. It's 103 on a regular basis out here during
Wow.
the summer. So
Okay,
you got to
s-
beat the heat how you can.
I know one thing that you were talking to me about, Frank, that I found interesting. I asked you, where are you catching these fish? Where do you go fishing there? So I want you to go about telling everybody where you're catching these fish, because that was kind of interesting to me, and I think it's pretty cool. So please let everybody know.
Yeah, so you had mentioned surf fishing. To be honest with you, I've never tried fishing the surf. Like I've been to the ocean plenty, never tried fishing the surf. All the
Wow.
stripers that I catch are caught out of a waterway here in California called the California Aqueduct. So basically, LA would be a desert without this waterway. So water comes in through our San Francisco Bay Area, works its way through the Delta, and then there's a man-made canal that's 444 miles long that stretches out basically about an hour east of San Francisco, and that water works its way all the way down to Los Angeles. Supplies LA's drinking water for the most part between that and the Colorado River.
Right.
And that body of water carries every type of fish you can think of: striped bass, regular bass, catfish, carp, bluegill. It's quite the ecosystem of fish. And considering that it runs 444 miles, I mean, I've got people that I communicate that fish that waterway that are literally a 4 or 5 hour drive away, and we share tactics on how to fish because it's the exact same waterway. So it's interesting. It's a popular area for people to fish. Again, a lot of people I can imagine on the East Coast have a hard time wrapping your head around traveling 444 miles and seeing the same body of water, because you would have traveled through probably 6 or 7 states in that trip. And for us, it's all one drive, one canal bank, essentially. It was actually constructed in the early 60s to supply Southern California's water.
Wow, that's awesome. And it gets me the most is that obviously things man-made, like we have here, the canal here up in Rhode Island over there, and a lot of big bass conjugate around there. And I'm amazed that man-made structures, here they are, and the striped bass are there. And same thing like in the aqueduct that feeds the water to LA, you said, these things also, they attract fish. I think so much, the currents. I don't know what else. I'm not a professional to say on that, but I find that fascinating that you guys fish there and you catch striped bass, because I've seen videos of people on YouTube. They're always fishing the coast there, big rocks. They don't catch them in abundance like we do here on the East Coast. And I'm not going to say abundance, but as much as big fish as we have here, as you guys have there. But when they do, they catch them there. You can catch them there, Frank. You can catch some nice big fish over there. And I know you mentioned there's an area around you where you're going to be bringing a group. We'll be talking about that in a minute. But you had mentioned to me the record for the fishing yesterday. If you want to let everybody know that little fact.
The landlocked?
Yeah, the landlocked.
Yeah, so there's a record that's called the landlocked striped bass record. So again, you guys are used to surf fishing. Again, we have surf fishing out here big time. But when the striped bass start to enter these waterways, especially along the aqueduct, once they get basically to the O'Neill Forebay, which is one of the first like holding areas for water, they can't make their way back out to the ocean at that point. Their trip is kind of limited at that point. So you get what's called landlocked. They are not going to make it back to the ocean. And the current record for a landlocked striper is held about 15 minutes from my house in Los Banos, California. Or sorry, Mrs. P, Los Banos.
Los Banos. That's okay.
But it's a 68 plus pound fish, and it's not uncommon to see the 50s get pulled out of that same area. 40s and 50s pretty regularly. I don't fish that area as much as I'd like to. Again, I'm relatively new to all this, so I figured I would try my hand at something that's right in my backyard. But the idea of catching, obviously a 68-pound fish is exciting anywhere. But yeah, that is kind of unique to our area. There are a few other places within the United States where there's landlocked opportunities to fish for stripers. I think I'd mentioned to you yesterday, Beaver Lake in Arkansas is a great one. We have a couple lakes here in California that there's no limit on how many you can take. I shouldn't say that. Rather, there's a 10 striper limit versus the 2 that we normally have. And it's because the lakes are so overwhelmed with stripers, they're decimating the trout population.
Wow.
But you still don't get them basically to that size as far as that O'Neill Forebay where that current record is.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that you live 15 minutes by there, and you can go there, man, all the time. You can take a shot at it at that record, knowing that a big fish like that came out of there. You got a chance for a big fish out of there. Okay, it doesn't have to be a 60-pounder, but if there was that 60-something pounder there, it's got to be a couple of 50s roaming around.
Yeah, I would imagine so. And I just honestly, I kick myself for not spending as much time out there as I should. Maybe I'm kind of spoiled having the aqueduct 5 miles from my house, so I'll tend to invest a little more time there just because it's more convenient. But yeah, I will start investing some more time out there. I think that the weather's right for me now to try to hit that nighttime bite, kind of like what we'd spoke about before.
Right.
And I think that nighttime is the right time to get on those hogs. So it's coming. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna throw my hat in it at least. So.
Yeah, I remember when I went out with my guide, Bill Wetzel. That was a question that he asked me. He goes, "What do you fish stripers? Do you fish them in the day or at night?" So my answer was like, in the morning and night. He asked me, "Do you go at night?" I says, "No, not really." That's how you learn. You learn people letting you know the facts about catching bigger fish, and obviously night fishing. I'm not saying that night's going to guarantee you the fish. You could get lucky. It could be in the middle of the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon. Some striped bass just happen to be going by, and you got the record. But I'm saying that you got better odds at scoring a bigger fish when you go at night. I mean, these fish are very skittish. At night it's quiet, it's dark. They'll come in to the shallower waters, which gives us, the surf fishermen or the aqueduct fishermen, a better chance at catching a bigger fish for sure.
Yeah, definitely going to try it. And, I'll take anybody's advice. So like I said, I'm really new at this. And
Right.
One thing I can tell you for sure is the more I've learned about fishing, the more I realize I don't know a whole lot about fishing. Seems like every day I'm learning that, man, that probably wasn't the best idea, or this is a better idea. And I'll listen to anybody out there on the water. You know, I'm just again, a filthy angler, hence the name.
Yes.
Right.
That's cool name, right? You can follow Frank on Instagram. His handle is there on the screen. Filthy Angler Frank.
I mean, these organizations he's hooked up in the, what do they got, the highway hookers and the
Yeah. What
was
are
it?
the
Yeah.
what's the other
Yeah.
organization?
So let me.
also?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna go over to right now. Is Frank is started with an organization. Let him tell you all about it, how he started, and what it's grown to. Frank.
Yeah, so I'm currently an administrator for a great page called Striperz Gone Wild. It was founded by a gentleman by the name of Bill Sterling. He basically just had an idea of how do we share information about fishing. You know, you tend to see on social media a lot like, hey, where did you catch that fish? How did you catch that fish? And you get a lot of the snarky typical answers, you know, in the water or on bait, you know, where'd you catch it at? Nobody wants to give away their spot. And his whole vision was, how do I just help the general angler out? You know, show them some spots, show them some techniques, help us learn some spots and techniques, and try to give back to the community at the same time. So there's me, and well, Bill started it. There's myself, Miguel Padilla, Brian Mastaz, and George Valencia. They are the admins, and so our passion is to fish, target those stripers, and give back to the community. We've had a handful of tournaments so far. We did one in December. It was actually prior to my joining the group. I should say they did one in December. It was a Toys for Tots drive. They gathered several hundred toys for the local community of Los Banos,
Right.
California. We did a spring tournament, which I was a part of. It was a canned food drive. We gathered a few thousand cans of food for, again, the Los Banos community. The reason we focus on Los Banos is our administrators are pretty spread out. So there's probably 100 miles radius between the five of us, and we do that so we can cover different areas of the aqueduct, kind of get an idea of weather, water flow, things like that. And Los Banos is that central area for us, so we figured that was the best community to kind of pick to give back to it. The group was initially started in October of 2020. When I joined, there was literally a couple hundred members, and we're well over 2,000 members now. Wow. And growing daily. We have a tournament coming up this coming Saturday. Again, this is part of Bill's vision. He always wanted to be able to give back to kids. That's real important. So we're doing a tournament called Kids Day on the Forebay. And we're teaming up with a group of guys, great group of guys called the Highway Hookers. I love their name. I love the guys. I love their breakfast. Shout out to Paco's Waffles. He brings a waffle maker when we fish in the morning, so you can't beat that.
And for those of you guys that don't know out there, I'm going to interrupt you really quick, Frank. For those of you guys, when we say Highway Hookers, you guys better understand we're talking about fishing here, right? Frank, please continue.
Yeah, definitely talking about fishing. So we're partnering up with these guys. We're giving away 75 tackle boxes with gear in them to the first 75 kids that enter the tournament. Kids entry is for free as long as you're there with a paying adult. It's $10 for the adult. All that money is going to go to a local charity called Shop with a Cop. So we have there's a charity in Los Banos where underprivileged youth basically that can't afford Christmas gifts, the local police department will go and shop for those kids and then deliver the gifts in the squad cars. So all the money is going to them. We're going to have cash prizes for first, second, and third for the kids. I don't think I was supposed to say that yet, but hey, cat's out of the bag. Here we go. There's going to be raffles, all sorts of giveaways, free food. We're doing burgers, hot dogs, tacos. I mean, again, it's all about giving back to the kids. Everybody in this group is come out of pocket for this deal, for all of our deals. You know, this isn't a money-making organization. We pay for everything out there. We just genuinely want to give back. We want to introduce more people to the sport and clean up areas. That's a big thing too, trying to maintain, you know, those good ethics, keeping those areas clean, teaching people about the laws, the regulations, teaching other people the great understanding of catch and release, right? You don't have to keep every fish that you catch. So that's a big one too. I don't even really eat fish, so I'll let the cat out of the bag on that one too. I'm a sport angler for the most part. I've tried it. It's not, and I'll try more, but it's not really my thing. I do it just to catch them. I throw them all back. I try to be as ethical as I can. Like I know that you guys on your bait. Quick question, just to kind of
Yeah,
sidetrack.
yeah.
You guys have to use circle hooks out there on the
Yeah,
East Coast?
this was the
Is that a
first year,
regulation
Frank,
now?
that they instill that law that circle hooks now are a mainstay here in New York State. And I know the other states have them too, New Jersey and Connecticut, which are a tri-state area here. But yeah, you have
Yeah,
to
no.
use circle hooks.
Yeah, the reason I asked is like that was when I first got into this because I do so much catch and release. I was trying to figure out the most ethical way
Right.
to kind of let these fish go. You know
If
what I
you
mean?
really
So
want
it
to
was a
let,
question.
yeah, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
It was
No,
just a
no,
question.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah, I
it.
hear you.
That was
But
it.
here's the best part, Frank. If you really want to let these fish go and you really want to go that next level, also you can crush your barbs.
Yeah, I
And
do
if-
that.
Okay, yeah, if you crush your barbs, a good fisherman, even though I try to tell myself, oh, come on, Mr. P, you're a good fisherman, you try. I don't think I can crush my barb. I don't do that as far as that, but as far as when I put the live bait on, it's always a circle hook. I follow the law. But yeah, a good fisherman can hold that fish on there as long as that
Well,
line created with that tension.
hang on. So don't give me too much credit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of areas within California that you absolutely have to crush your barb.
Oh,
Barbless
wow.
is required.
That's
yeah,
pretty
in a lot
cool.
of parts of California, depending on how close or far upstream or downstream you are from the
Wow.
actual main source of stripers. And then we have a lot of areas that stripers run in that our salmon run in as well. So
Right.
it's more to protect those salmon primarily, but the striper that are in that area, they get the benefit of that as well. So it's not just me trying. Yeah, it helps. It definitely helps you become a better angler because you have to learn how to hold on to those fish and keep that tension, right?
Absolutely,
But
buddy.
it wasn't by choice, so I
Good.
won't take too much credit there.
Well, that's good, man, because I'm a catch and release guy. I kept now 3 stripers in the last 4 years. The only ones that I pretty much have decided to keep are the ones on the rivers where they swallow the hooks, Frank, and they bleed, and I just can't throw a fish back. It's got to be a legal size, and I can't just throw it back. So those are the ones I keep. I eventually get the hook out, obviously, but it's capped. I harvested it. When I get them, I go to my parents because they use every little single piece of meat. They were the ones who taught me about the cheekbone meat that they have, and that's the most tastiest on the body. It's the most tender, and
So they say.
they just the whole thing. They put the head. They make head soup out of it. There's nothing left. There's nothing. My father goes, yeah, you want the tail? Take the tail home. Get out. It's all right. Yeah, but that's when I harvest the fish. It's all about that. I don't really harvest fish at all. Like I said, I'm a catch and release guy. I'm thinking of catching one, maybe harvesting it at this trip. I don't know. I'm kind of against it. So anyhow, that's that for that. And Frank, I want to put up some pictures of the group you're with that you were talking about. Honey, you want to put up those pictures?
Right. So we have here the guys.
Which one? Yeah. So you got a picture here of the guys. They're all wearing the black shirts. They got their thumbs up. You got a guy in crutches there. That's you. What happened,
Oh,
Frank?
yeah, that's me. Man, it's not the most dignified story. It's probably not podcast friendly, but I broke my heel. Yeah, I broke my heel, so I was out of commission. That was actually at our last tournament.
Wow.
Which it kind of gave me a pass. I had the other admins had to carry my weight for the day, so I kind of got to take it easy.
You guys
But
give out. Yeah, go ahead.
No, so no, I was just on crutches for about 3 weeks. But that tournament that was an amazing tournament. We had a really good turnout.
Nice, Frank. Nice. And I want to tell you, do you have that picture with the trophies, honey?
Yeah.
Look at the trophies these guys give out, guys. I was bugging out. I mean, look at these things. These things are like what you get in the Olympics, for Christ's sake. Over here, they're giving kids out plastic ones, and they're like, yeah, well, you all get one on the whole team. Don't worry if you lost 140 in a row. Here's a trophy. You guys are the best. But these are nice trophies here, man. You really guys, do it up.
I got to give credit to the other admins. And Bill Sterling, the head man in charge.
Right.
We call him the silver fox, the older guy that's usually in the picture with us.
Okay. Let's see if we can get that.
Again, that's
photo
his passion. He retired from a job. He went back to work to make money to buy trophies and give stuff back to the kids.
That's
you know
a
what I
good
mean?
guy.
And so what our intentions are is every tournament will have a different type of reward. So like that same spring tournament next year, we'll have very very similar trophies.
Now
But
I'm
for
going to
this
put up
particular,
another picture here. I have to put this up. You're showing here, it looks like a maroon shirts, and it looks like the Striperz Gone Wild. Am I right? That's it. Yep. And you got a couple of fellas, and it looks like the middle gentleman you were talking about is the gentleman that was went back to work.
With the gray hair?
yeah, I can't see the photo you're talking. I know we're all wearing the jerseys, the
Yeah.
Striperz on Wild jerseys. Yeah, so he's the one.
He's
who
the
went back
guy.
to
Okay,
work.
so guys, it's
Yeah,
the guys in the middle.
the
That's a
man with
good
the plan.
guy. That's a
Yeah,
really good
he's
guy,
definitely
Frank.
absolutely 100%. His heart's as big as his bald head, and I hope he's
Wow.
watching this.
Wow. Well, you know what? You know, good things always come around to people who do the right
Okay, I
things. Yeah,
see the
put that up,
picture.
honey. Here you are
Yeah, I
with
see
the
the
highway
picture now.
hookers. What does it say there? Thinking ain't easy. What is that?
Hooking.
Hooking. I'm saying thinking ain't easy. Yeah, for me it isn't. But anyway, hooking ain't easy. Highway hookers there, and you got you guys right there. Striperz Gone Wild.
Yeah, that's just a small portion of us. We met up for breakfast a couple weeks ago. Breakfast and striper fishing on the aqueduct a couple weeks ago. We took a quick picture to help again with the promotion of this upcoming tournament. We wouldn't be able to do it without those guys. I mean, big shout out to the highway hookers. There's no way
Right.
we'd be able to put all this together without them. So we appreciate them for sure.
I think that's pretty cool, man. I guess the pictures in the background are the aqueducts.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty
it.
cool, man. I like that.
Wow.
That sounds like a cool deal there.
So different.
yeah,
from
so
ours
different. Yeah.
over here. And the fish look different too. Do the stripers look different over there?
Well, the Stripers over there, their stripes, they come on like neon lights. They light up and.
Oh, is that a San Francisco joke?
What?
Is that a San Francisco neon lights joke?
Yeah, I didn't know that one. No, I had no idea. I just made up a name.
He just made that up.
No, our stripers wear tall socks and backwards hats. I think that's how you can tell it.
That's awesome, Frank. Frank, I got to tell you that you are a wonderful guest. You gave up some good knowledge. Gentlemen and ladies, also, yeah, I want to put this picture up before we finish up. Frank here. Frank, I got a picture of your dog, and he's looking at the fish you caught. Looks like a catfish you got there.
Yeah,
Tell me about your dog.
That's the sidekick. That's Rogue. She's German Shepherd, Malamute mix. She's my road dog, like in every sense of the word.
Beautiful.
She goes fishing with me more than my guys do.
I love it.
It's honestly, that's what really got me into fishing. I was taking her on walks and just throwing the pole out just for something else to do at the time. And now it's funny because at first, when I would first catch a fish,
Yeah.
she was petrified of it. As soon as I'd pull it out of the water, she was in complete shock. She would run the other way. Then after a while, it was a little bit of curiosity. Now I got to make sure she doesn't eat it when I'm pulling it up because she wants to get a bite out of it. So, but
That's
yeah,
awesome.
she's a good girl. Yeah, she's a good girl.
So cute.
Frank, again, I want to say to you that I appreciate you coming on my show, sharing what you do, seeing the gentleman who stood out and got a job he can make the money to get those kids the trophies. And again, it is about kids. A lot of people say, oh, it's a dying breed. Yeah, you know what? A lot of these activities that we do are a dying breed. And we can blame them.
Dying sport?
Dying, on pretty much the cell phones, because us too, we're on them a lot, but the kids today, they love that. They love it, and it tends to push out a sport like fishing, which not high on the priority list, like a baseball or football, even hockey or anything else. So those sports get pushed away a little bit, but good dads. I know a bunch of dads, and they take their kids fishing and they keep it going. But I appreciate what you guys do, Frank, for the kids. So on behalf of Mr. Poseidon and his group, which is his wife here, we're going to make a donation to you guys, Frank. Also, I think $50, what we can afford here. We are from New York, the big state, but we are going to make a donation to your group. You just let us know after the show on Instagram. We'll throw in a $50. If anybody else wants to donate anything, remember, you heard him saying there is no profit in this. Frank hit the lotto a couple of years ago, so he doesn't have to work anymore. He doesn't need money. So he's not, I'm kidding about that, guys, but there's no profit in this, so it goes all for the kids. And I want that because me and my wife, you know, we never had kids before. We couldn't have kids. It just so happens we couldn't have. My prior record stopped me from adopting. No, there's nothing. I just didn't want to adopt.
Just kidding.
I just didn't want to adopt. But
no, first off, thank you. That is so kind.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys. For one, I'm humbled that you asked me to be on your show.
Yeah,
I've been
man.
following you for a long time. I love your catches. I'm still trying to catch up to those big ones that you're getting. I love the scenic photos.
Yeah, I love it.
Man,
Thanks,
go
Frank.
check this guy out. Like, if any of my friends are watching, which I know some of you are tuning in, you have to follow this guy.
Yeah, man.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you.
But I'm humbled.
Thank
Thank you guys. Thank you
Peace
so
for
much.
that, bro. Definitely, I appreciate that. So, Frank, again, I got to say thank you to you. Thank you to your group. We'll have that all posted on the bottom. You can actually see it right now. That's Frank at Instagram, Filthy Angler. Filthy Angler Frank. You can see it up there on the board. We'll also put it on the bottom. We'll put down also Striperz Gone Wild. You can get in touch with the organization through that. Frank, you can also get in touch through his Instagram. Very easy.
Yeah.
Other than that, Frank, thank you again. Thank you for being on my show. And we'll have you back on again definitely another time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you know what I was thinking? I'm going to check my internet service out on the aqueduct, and maybe we can do something from out there so I can give you guys a bird's eye view of what it actually looks like out there instead of trying to see from a
oh,
still
yeah,
photo.
that
Maybe
would
we
be
can set up
awesome. I
something
would
like
love that.
down the road.
Frank,
Yeah, I
I
think
would
you
love
guys
that.
might
I would
geek
love
out.
that, buddy. I appreciate that. Make sure the
Hey,
dog's
thank you,
there
guys.
that day for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for
Definitely,
sure.
brother. So thank you.
All right, thank you. And thank you, Mrs. P.
There you
guys
go.
are
Oh,
awesome.
thank you, Frank. So nice.
There you
Thanks-
go.
Thanks
It's
so much.
a love. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, buddy.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
I'll go up there in the corner. There you go. All right, guys. So thanks, Frank. Thank you again.
All right. So we'll see you soon. We'll see you out there on Instagram. Night, Frank.
Night, guys.
All right. So, okay, you got it? Beautiful. Okay. So there you have it. We had Frank on today as a guest. I hope you guys enjoyed that. You could see the organizations Frank was
That's so nice.
was with.
the-
You
all
see in
they
a
do
couple
for
of
kids.
yeah for the kids. Got to show you a couple of pictures of him fishing. The guy fishes hard, guys, and it bugs me out when I constantly see guys fishing and they catch, you know, not the biggest stripers in the world, but they're constantly sending in pictures. And I'm like, wow, this guy's really a hardcore character. And I got to know him. We spoke a few times, and I'm lucky enough to have him on the show and to let everybody know. Also, I want to let you guys know, Thomas O'Brien, he had torn a tendon recently, and his fishing activities have slowed. So until he heals, which will be a couple of weeks, he was telling me, hopefully he'll be able to get back out there. But to get out with a just healing torn tendon is going to be tough. I don't want to deject you or anything, but go to the sandy beaches, Tom. There, you'll enjoy yourself even better.
Get
Other
better
than that-
soon, Thomas.
Yeah, get well soon. I wanted to mention that. And also Edwin, the Shitty Fisherman on Instagram. Check him out. Edwin was right behind me. I was driving in Montauk. I was going to one of my spots, and he called me. He goes, "Oh, I'm almost there. Where are you? Maybe we can meet up." I says, "Well, I says, "How far are you?" He was just starting out. He was about 2 hours behind me. So I didn't really want to wait. I explained to him, "Listen, I'm going to the spot right now. Once you go to North Bar, nice place to fish there in Montauk." And he went there. He hit the blues a little bit. I don't know how you did on the Striperz that night, but other than that, I was in Montauk all week. I had a fantastic time. Stopped by in the tackle shop there, Paulie's Tackle Shop. I needed a hand. I ran over my GSB rod. That's right. I ran over it with my truck, and it wasn't
Oh, my
because
God.
I wasn't catching fish and I got angry. When I got ready and loaded at the end of the first day I was there, I drove there at night. I fished all night, and then I fished till the morning, and by 12, I was ready to check into the hotel. I like doing that. Saves me a night over there. That's how I do it. I love it. My wife's not going to like it this week, but I'm going to like it anyway. So when I went over there, I loaded everything up, and I was ready to go to the room. I was tired. I wanted to take a shower and go to sleep. I was fishing all night. And I left the rod on the side of the car. It was the last thing I had to put up on the rack, and I didn't do it, and I drove off.
Oh,
So on the way out, I'm thinking, wait a minute. I didn't load my GSP. Oh, no. Turned around, ran down to the beach. There it is. It's laying there. I walked up to it. I didn't see it broken. I was like, awesome, awesome. And then I looked at the second guide from the top. I guess that's where the tire went over it, or partially, or whatever. But it broke the guide. It totally.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it broke the guide. You got the call.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, it really wasn't to you. You were just like, what do you mean, you idiot? You broke it right there.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, all right. So anyway, so the guide broke, and I wanted to get it repaired because I love using my GSP. It's my favorite rod. So I had other rods with me. I had a Century with me. I also had my St. Croix rods, which I use with my bucktails. I should have bought it on my last trip that I went there. But anyway, so I went to Paulie's Tackle Shop. Scott, who usually repairs my rods, we had him on last week as a guest. He wasn't available, obviously, to come out to Montauk. I couldn't afford the fee of $4 million to get him a helicopter and get him out of here. But that's all right. I knew he couldn't get out there. So I stopped in Paulie's. Paulie's took care of me, and I took care of him. Guys, remember, when you go into these tackle shops in Montauk, Paulie's Tackle Shop, don't go in there and look around and go, so where are they catching the fish? Because he's going to tell you, the ocean. What do you mean where they're catching the fish? Buy something from the guy. Support your local tackle shop. It's a small shop. Pays a lot of rent in these freaking places in Montauk to stay alive over there. It's tough for the guy. So go in there, buy a lure or two, then talk to him. Get to know the guy if you don't know him already. I know Paulie, so whenever I go to knock on the door, I was about to knock, the sign turns and it says closed right in my face.
No.
Oh, shoot. He's not here. No, he doesn't do that. But take care of your local tackle shops. Shop from them. Buy some things from them. You don't have to go to the big stores to get a regular lure that the small tackle shop carries too, okay? So support them, okay? Thank you, Paulie. Appreciate everything.
Brian is asking you, what was your top Montauk lure? On
My
this trip?
top Montauk lure this trip, definitely the bucktail. The bucktail. At night, I got them on the SP minnow, the two fish that I got that night. They weren't keepers. They were, 25 and 26-inch fish. They were nice fish. I got them up on the, do I have those fish to show them? I got those up on the video. If you guys watch the video, you'll see the two fish I caught at night. That was good, yeah. So that was like my top Montauk lure would have to be, there's a few of them. There's needlefish, and, there's the darter. I mean, guys love those darters, yellow darters. Say yellow darter at night. Remember, these fish have that, how do you say that, pronounce that?
Which?
Vision that striped bass have. Chromologic, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce that, but they see like that, and they see greens, they see reds, they see yellows really well. So a lot of people use those colors. There's the chicken scratch SP minnow, which I love using at night. God bless Bill Wetzel. He taught me to use those at night. Doesn't mean that I use them all the time, or Bill Wetzel said you have to use these all the time, but there was an instant I used it with him. A nice fish came in. I said, I'm going to use this. I like it. And it works. So, yeah, SP minnows, dark colors, purples, dark greens they have, for at night. Did you take any pictures of the eclipse while you were in Montauk? John Garcia, thank you for bringing that up. You remind.
Yeah, he didn't even realize.
Yeah, so I didn't even realize I was fishing there. I was at a spot in Montauk. And I'm sitting there and I'm fishing, John. And all of a sudden, the sun starts coming up. And if you noticed on Instagram, I took a picture of it. It was really a beautiful morning sunrise. Beautiful. It was a nice picture I took. And I posted it. But as it kept coming up, it looked weird. And what do I mean by weird? Like there were rays coming out of the sun, but sideways from the bottom. They were coming out like that. So as it really started, because remember, when the moon first comes up on the sunrise, it's not really that clear. And as it comes up, it gets more solid. So as it came up and it got a little more solid, I realized something. Oh my goodness, the moon is in front of the sun. It was 3/4 covered, maybe more, because the sun looked like one of those bent swords, you know, the points on each side. I mean, it was like, I was amazed. I was shocked. And I looked at my buddy, Chaz, who lives out there. He's a fly fisherman strictly up at Montauk. So he told me, oh, yeah, that's right. I got a text yesterday stating that we were going to have a solar eclipse. And check it out. And there I am. I got to see it. So going back to your question where you asked me, did you take any pictures, John? John, yeah, I tried, but the light was so bright that it just kept blowing it out. And I didn't have any filters to put it on. I even tried putting my sunglasses in front of it and take a picture, but it didn't work. I probably could have made an adjustment, but I didn't know how to, and there are ways to do that on your phone.
To look at it, too.
Yeah, so I was looking at it like I wasn't staring at it, but I will tell you that it was when it was low, and I first noticed that the moon was out. You could stare at it more than a couple of seconds because it wasn't bright, and I was shocked. I was like, wow, we were like stunned. So I'm glad I got to witness that, and what better place to witness that than in Montauk? Anybody listening out there, please, you got to make your way to Montauk. Go, bring the family. It's a family thing if you want to bring them. You know, have the wife and the kids, you know, and keep them by the pool. I'm going to go little fishing this morning. The kids aren't up at 6 in the morning anyway. You can go fishing. You can do what you want for a few hours. The wife will back you on that, guaranteed.
I think
well, I don't know.
Get up early, too.
Yeah, so anyway. Yeah, right. So, yeah, I was in Montauk last week. I had a wonderful line. Adrian Al is asking me, which line do you recommend as a personal experience with pound mono you use in Montauk? So I like using the braided line. I've been using that 8 times, that new Japanese stuff. I'm not impressed by it because I feel my product is not casting out as far. And I'm going to be honest, I noticed that this week because tomorrow I'm going to get ready to get a regular braided line 4 times, not 8. As far as line, Adrian, it's whatever the tackle shop usually has wound up. Power line, Power Pro, whatever it's called, whatever, I don't know. Whatever they have, they put on for me, and it usually works. As far as pounds, a lot of guys, you know, could go with 30s. I like to use 40 because I'm definitely going to catch that 70-pound fish off the surf one day, and I want to have on the right braid ready for that big fish. And also as a leader, I want you guys to know as a leader, I'll use 80-pound leader. The only reason I use 80-pound leader isn't because Bill Wetzel says you got to use 80 pounds. This is why he says you got to use 80 pounds. When you're on a rock in Montauk and you're up high and you're fishing, it's comfortable. The waves aren't hitting you. If they're hitting you, they're brushing you on the ankles, on your shins. But what's happening is you're reeling in that fish. And, you know, you're not going to bend down on a rock and lift them up. You're on a rock, guys. You're fishing in Montauk. Understand that. Remember, always have your corkers on. I'm going to tell you right now. If you don't know what corkers on, call Bill Wetzel. He'll give you a perfect explanation on what corkers are. So basically is I like to grab the 80-pound leader. And the 80-pound leader I have is at least 36 inches long, 3 feet. Why? Because when I pull up on the rod and I can reach the leader, I'll wrap my hand around it. I'll wrap my hand around that leader. And then what happens is when the fish shakes and your hand's going like this, it's not going to cut through you. First of all, you got it wrapped up a few times. It's 80 pounds, so it's easy to pull in that fish, and that's why I keep 80-pound leader. You can use 60. You can do it, but I like to be comfortable with no issues because if you get a really big fish, you're going to wish you had on that 80-pound leader on to pull that fish up, especially if you're on a rock. If you're fishing on the beach, yeah, you can go for lower, but still I want to have that big leader on. I'm used to it now, and that's the way I like to fish. Jason Palmatia, what's up, Mr. P? Happy Sunday. Good evening, Jason. Good to see you on the show. What's up? How's everyone doing? Everyone's fine, Jason. I want to tell you thank you for showing up to the show. It's always a pleasure to have a knowledgeable fisherman on like Jason Palmatieri. So, Adrian, I hope that answers your question on the poundage I use. Usually 40 I use over there. One day you're going to make it with me, Adrian. You got to come down. I know you're a busy man. You have a family with young kids, and you work very hard on your job. But other than that, I
Wow,
think
look at the time.
that the
8:01.
time is 8:01, and I never want to hold people up. It is Sunday.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank all my guests. I want to thank also Frank. I was
Azevedo.
Azevedo. Sorry, Frank. I want to thank Frank Azevedo for being a guest on my show. Very knowledgeable stuff. We'll have him on. If anybody wants to get in touch with him, make any sort of donations like we are. We promised him a $50 donation from us. We're going to put down the information on how you can get in touch with Frank. Wonderful organization. Striperz Gone Wild. In association also they do with hookers. What is that?
Highway.
Highway hookers. And that's fishing, guys, remember. All right, guys, thank you very much again once for being on the show. Mrs. P, Mr. P, we thank you very much. Let's start it off. Oscar El Baera, Marcos Delgado, Ernest Ernesto, Adrian Ayala, Brian Waterman, Mr. T, John Garcia. Thank you, guys, for being on the show, and we will see you next week, guys, definitely.